The International Criminal Court has issued 2 warrants of arrest in the Ukraine situation. For Vladimir Putin, President of the Russian Federation, and for Maria Lvova-Belova, Commissioner of the Russian President for Children's Rights, for the alleged war crimes of deportation of children from Ukrainian-occupied territories into the Russian Federation.
And good morning from NewsNation Live. I am Marni in for Marni Hughes. Now to that breaking news. The International Criminal Court has issued an arrest warrant for Russian President Vladimir Putin for war crimes in Ukraine. Joining me now to delve deeper into this is retired U.S. Army Major General William Enyart. Sir, thanks for joining me once again. We didn't get to speak about this last time because this broke since you and I first talked in the first hour. Your top-line reaction to the news of this arrest warrant from the ICC, and will it impact the war in Ukraine?
Well, Marky, times can certainly move very quickly today, can't they? It was just an hour or so ago that we were previously chatting. This is, frankly, a huge diplomatic win for Ukraine, and it's an equally huge propaganda loss for Putin. I'm sure the internet memes of Putin being led away in handcuffs are already proliferating. Now, Russia is not a signatory to the International Criminal Court, so he's in no danger of extradition from Russia for trial. Neither the U.S. nor China, for that matter, are signatories. But over 120 nations are signatories to this International Criminal Court. So this does cut down on Putin's vacation options a bit. Now, Putin's defense will be that he will claim these kids are really Russian children, not Ukrainian, and he's simply protecting them.
And tell me,
go ahead.
Sorry to barge in there. Tell me the likelihood of us actually seeing Putin arrested. I mean, is that a reality? Does that happen?
Well, it's certainly not going to happen anytime soon. And frankly, I don't think it's a reality unless Russia would completely collapse as a nation. And it would become possible for his opponents in Russia to take control and then turn him over. But as long as Putin's in control, he's not going to be arrested. And frankly, he'll avoid traveling to any nation that is a signatory where he'd be in danger of being arrested.
Okay. And the other thing, I wanted to go back to what we were talking to earlier. China's president is meeting with Putin in Moscow next week. White House National Security Council spokesman John Kirby says the White House has, quote, deep concerns about that visit. Will it put Zelensky at a deep disadvantage, as Kirby is saying?
Well, it's certainly not going to help Zelensky, but it depends on what statements come out of there. You know, they've been touting the fact, Russia's been touting the fact that they're going to sign some bilateral agreements. I'd want to see what those bilateral agreements amount to. If China would agree to provide lethal weaponry to Russia, certainly bad news for Zelensky. On the other hand, if it's pretty vague and ambiguous and China says they want to work for peace, and they want to assist Russia in working for peace, that's going to be much less damaging to the Ukrainian cause.
Mm-hmm. Politico reports that Chinese companies, including one linked to its government, sent Russia 1,000 assault rifles, drone parts, other military equipment as well at the end of 2022. What do you make of China's role in supporting Russia?
Well, they're at best tiptoeing into this. They don't want to hurt their economic ties, the trade ties with the U.S. and the EU. The trade with the U.S. and the European Union, which of course are both aligned against Russia and with Ukraine, that amounts to 6 or 8 times as much trade as Russia does. Now, Russia does sell them some oil. In fact, it's China's largest oil supplier, but China can live without Russia far better than Russia can survive without China.
Mm-hmm. And the Wall Street Journal's editorial board argues, quote, President Biden now has more reason to do what he could have done long ago, give Ukraine the weapons needed to win. Priority number 1 is the Army tactical missile system, which would allow strikes deeper into the Russian positions in Ukraine. Sir, do you agree with that? I wanted your take.
Well, you know, the U.S. has likewise kind of tiptoed into this conflict. I think initially it was largely due to the fact that nobody, and I mean nobody, thought that Ukraine would still be standing punching punch for punch with Russia a year down the road. Russia has so much larger military and such a much larger population and landmass. Nobody thought Ukraine could outfight them.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider, and don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.